Hi guys, I'll be teaching you a new project today entitled Profile. The technologies we'll be using is Angular 4 for our front end, and for our back end we will be using a Laravel, which is most used PHP framework, and we'll be demonstrating in this project a CRUD functionality, which stands for create, read, update, and delete. And our database we'll be using is MySQL using a PHP MyAdmin. And our front end, which is Angular, is communicating with our back end, which is Laravel, using a service API. So just to give you a tour with our project, okay, so this is our front page of our web app. So we got two a menu, home menu and add menu. Okay. In the home page, this is the listings of all the entries in our database. Okay, all the profiles coming from our database is shown here, or is being listed here in front page. And in the front page, there is an option of deleting it, updating it, and deleting it. Okay, and but at first, if you want, the first thing to do is to press the add, okay, add menu, and then it will show you the add page. Okay, you're gonna, just to demonstrate it, we only got we only be accepting three inputs. Okay, we got here the full name, the age, and the photo or an image. Okay, so let's say okay, the full name and then the age. Okay. If it means that age, it will show an error. So we also got front end validation. Okay, and yeah, and then an option to select a photo. And yeah, that's it. And you're gonna save it. So when you save it, okay, when you go to the home page, it will show up. Okay, and you could edit it. An option to edit. Okay, and an option to delete. Okay, so there's also confirmation if you want to delete it. That's okay. Alright, and a notification. Okay, so that's it. That will be our project that I'll be teaching you today. So sit back and relax and enjoy the tutorial. Okay, first we'll be developing a front end using AngularJS. Okay, so in order to do that, we have to install an AngularJS. Okay, we could do that by installing a Node Package Manager NPM. But if you already installed the Node.js in your system, then you would be able to use your NPM to install your AngularJS, since NPM is already bundled or is already included in your Node.js. Okay, if you have not yet installed your Node.js in your system, just go to this site, https://nodejs.org, and since I'm using Windows, okay, I'll be installing the Windows version. Okay, here I already installed my Node.js, so my npm is will be able to be used to install my Angular4.js. Okay, so there's two types of installation of AngularJS. One is a quick start, and the other one is using Angular CLI or the command line interface. So, but in this tutorial, we will be using Angular CLI. Okay. All right. So, if you have already installed your Node.js, you could go to the next step, which is installation of Angular CLI. Install an Angular CLI in our project folder. So first we need to right click the project folder and get bash, get bash, and then here to install the Angular CLI we're gonna use npm. So the command will be npm install and -g for global, then at Angular /CLI. It's done. Now the next step will be installing the project name. So to do that, we'll do type the command ng and then the project name. So in our case, our project name will be profile. So I'm gonna type ng new project name, which is profile. Now using our editor, currently I'm using a PHP Storm editor. So go to File, then New Project, and we're gonna open the location which is in sorry about that, drive D, project folder, and the profile. So the project name is profile. We're gonna open that in a PHP Storm editor. And then okay, press yes. So open the project and the new. Alright. So as you can see here, these are the npm modules. Okay, the dependencies that have been used, and this is our source file. But before that, we need to go to our command line, the get bash command line, and we're gonna go to the project folder, which is a profile. So that's cd profile. Okay, press enter. Yep. And now we're gonna install the other dependencies that we'll be using for the project. To do that, we're gonna use the command line using an npm. So to install the dependencies, we're gonna write npm install. Okay. The dependencies that we'll be using would be the Bootstrap, and the second one is the JQuery. Okay, so and then after that --save. Let's see. Yeah, so it's all installed. As you can see here, the Bootstrap and JQuery packages has been added in our project folder. So since we have successfully installed our Angular CLI, so we're gonna test if it's working. So to do that, we need to run our development server. Doing that, we could do that by putting command ng serve. Okay, so the webpack compiles successfully, meaning it should work. So by default, the server runs on localhost dash localhost colon 4200. So let's go to our browser, which in my case I'm using a Chrome browser. So let's go to localhost 4200. So when you run that, you should see your our project file running, or your our app running. So this is the default home page of the Angular. Okay, so yeah, so it's working fine now. Now what we're gonna do next is do some setup with regards to our dependencies that we use. As you could remember, we have been installed two dependencies, the JQuery and the Bootstrap. So we have to install that in our JSON file. So let's open up our project file using the editor. So I'm using PHP Storm. So this is a project folder profile. So look on the ang.angular-cli.json file. Okay. So we're gonna put some setup here for our dependencies. So first we under styles, okay, and then we just add something here, the location of our bootstrap. So that's put comma there, and we're gonna insert the location of our bootstrap. Okay, that's it. And for the jQuery, we're gonna insert that in our scripts here. Right. We're gonna insert this location of the jQuery. Basically, when we install this dependency, it's under the node modules folder. So we're gonna put in the location of the jQuery there. And now to test if our Bootstrap is working, it should change the font. Okay, so just remember the looks of the font. Okay, then we have to restart the development server again. Okay, so that to start, we're gonna command ng serve. Okay, alright, the webpack compiled successfully. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the localhost 4200, and we need to refresh it. So have a look at the font, it should change. Okay, if it changes font, then meaning the bootstrap is working. So we're gonna reload, and ta-ta! Okay, so the font has changed, meaning our bootstrap is working. Next step would be creating a component files that we are using for the project. So we need to open up another command, git bash command. So currently the first git bash is we are using to run our development server for the Angular. Now we have to create to open another one. So git bash. Alright. And now we're gonna create the component files. So to do that, we need to do the command ng generate component. Okay, and then the component file name that we'll be using. So the first one we're gonna use is a Navbar. Okay, then dash dash spec. Okay, false. Okay, by default when you do the generate component, it generate the .spec file, so we don't want that spec file, so that's why it's false, right? So yeah, that's it. So this is our first component file, the navbar, and then just press enter. Okay, as you can see, it created the .html, the .ts, the TypeScript file, and .css file. So that HTML is a front look template of the component. That TS, that TypeScript file is the one that is being compiled in order for it to be converted to that JavaScript or .js file, and then .css is where you could design the CSS for this particular component. So let's check our editor. So you could find that in the src up folder. There you can see the navbar folder. This is the one that we have created. Right. Now we still need to create other component files. So let's cut back to that. So just press an arrow key. So we're gonna just replace this navbar to our other component file. So next one will be home. Okay. Okay. Then we're gonna create home add, and that last one we're gonna create the edit component. Okay, let's check our editor if it's everything has been created. So yes, as you can see here, src app, we got to add. Okay, and component, we got an edit component, we got the home component, and the navbar. We have installed the component files that we're using for the project. Now let's try to test or to show something in our website. So this by default, this is the look of our main page, our main home page. So what we do, we just need to remove this content. So we could just make it blank. Okay. So to do that, let's go to the app folder, and let's check the app component HTML. Yeah. So this app that component.html is the one in charge in showing the default content you are seeing right now. So what we do, we just need to remove this one, everything, and so that's it. And when we try, it reset itself. Okay. So when we try to refresh the profile, so it's now blank. So what we do, so first we're gonna set up our nav bar, our navigation bar here. at the topmost. Okay, and then the other components, which is the home, edit, and odd components, will be shown when we do the route. So when we put the route here, so in order for us to see the other component, we're gonna put the route word here, a routing word. So let's say if it's a home, HOME, we're gonna put in home. Of course, it doesn't work at the moment still by default because we haven't set the route yet. So, but what we do by default, there is a default navigation bar on each page in the topmost. So that's what we're gonna be setting up right now. So to do that, we have to modify our navbar components. Navbar component HTML. So we're gonna replace this one. So we're gonna go to the get Bootstrap website. Alright. We're gonna use this narrow marketing. Okay. So we're gonna use this navigation bar. It is masthead. Okay. Copy, and we're gonna go to our navbar component here and copy and paste. Okay. So that's it. And what we do, we go to sorry, it's app component HTML, and we're gonna put this open and close tag app navbar. So let's try it out. That's it. So we get here the project name. These are Navbar. Showing its fixed. So we just need to tweak some text here. So we only need is an add menu here, and we're gonna change the project name. To change this project name would be profile. Okay, and we just need to replace the about add. Okay. That's it. So this is our project name. This is the home page, and we got here the add. Sorry, it doesn't show on the screen, but we have here the add menu. We just need to adjust the navigation bar at the middle. So to do that, we have to put the CSS. So let's get back to the official Bootstrap website. So that's in narrow marketing. Okay. So we just need, yeah, as you could see here, we just need to like this one, we just need to put it at the middle of the screen. Okay, so what we do, we just need to right click, view page source, and as you can see in the style, it uses the container narrow class. Okay, so this one, container narrow class. Okay, so if we look at the navigation menu, so it is enveloped in a container narrow class. So we just need to insert this class, container narrow. So let's go back to our, so now let's go back to the Navbar HTML, Navbar component HTML. Okay, and we need to insert this one, div class container narrow. Okay, so we have to put this navigation listings inside the container narrow class. Okay, and then what we have to do is define in the navbar component.css file the CSS. So where is it? Yeah, this one. We just need to copy this. Okay. Okay, copy this to the CSS. Paste. Okay. As you would see, as it refreshed, it became at the middle now.